over the place. I am live. Hello, everybody. It's time for another Magnetic Monday live community call. I'm so excited. I had to sneak this one in. I know I didn't kind of give you guys much of a heads up, but hopefully you'll find me and I'll send out some posts and emails to let you know about this one, because today we're going to talk about how to set magnetic income goals. I know, very, very exciting. I'm very excited about it. So say hello in the chat box, whether you're watching live on my YouTube channel or you're in the Manifesting Circle, our beautiful community, or whether you're watching on my Facebook page, pardon me, because I'm streaming live in all three places at the same time. I know, I'm everywhere. So if you are in the Facebook group, just letting you know at the top of this post, and I might pop it in the comments for you if I can figure out how to get to the chat. If you're watching along in the Facebook group, then you need to actually give Facebook permission to see your name, so that when you're typing comments, I can see who's leaving a comment. So what I invite you to do, just as we're getting started, is say hello in the comments. Let me know where you are in the world and let us know a little bit about your business. And I'll give a few of you guys a shout out as we go, because I can actually pop comments up on the screen. So can't post comments at some destinations. Okay, cool. I don't know why it does that. Oh, maybe it's YouTube where I can't comment as I'm live. So be sure to do that. I've got a slight delay with your comments coming through, but just let us know where you are in the world and a little bit about your business so I can give you a shout out. Now, I just want to quickly say I'm not here to give you financial advice. This is general information. You know how it works. Hello from Vancouver. Hey, Agathi, tell us a little bit about your business. You're in Nicopolis. Did you know, Agathi? Actually, Agathi is unusual. I would have thought it would be Agapi or something like that, because I don't know if you know, but I'm actually Greek and my maiden name is Anagnostopoulos. So I think I've beaten you in the character count there as well. Hey, Katie, coming to you from Agnes Water, Queensland. Bronya is in Sydney. All right, I'm just going to take my little banner off the screen. I've already done this. I love playing in ScreenYard. How cool is it? Look, I can do this sort of stuff. I can have you guys like actually giving you shout outs up on the screen, which I love. I love doing that. So make sure you tell us a little bit about your business. I'll take that banner off. Oh, guess what else we're going to do today? Plus, look, I prepared one earlier. I made you a ticker banner. Plus, I'm going to share at the end, just before I go, a really cool hot magnetic money tip to help you attract those income goals much more easily. It's just a little tweak that actually makes a really big difference, especially if you find that in the past, you know, you've done the whole 1,000 ways to attract what you want into your life and it hasn't quite gelled. This one is a really cool little tweak that I personally have found makes such a difference, especially when I'm visualizing my income goals. I know, how cool is it, Bronya? I love the toys. Look, it is so cool. And it's got your face and everything on there. So beautiful. So Bronya is actually a fellow Infinite Possibilities trainer. We met at a training, I can't remember which one it was, with Mike Dooley. Okay, I think it might have been New Orleans. Was it New Orleans? Okay, so I'll share that practical tip at the end. Now, we're going to go for about 20 to 30 minutes, so I need to get on with it. And what I'd love you to do along the way, like I said, tell us a bit about your business in the comments so I can put it up on the screen. But also, if you have questions or little ahas, then share them in the comments, because you put that energy out there and it kind of amplifies it. So when you reinforce like what you just realized and you type it, then that gives it more energy and it helps you absorb it at a deeper level. And it'll also probably help some other people kind of see different ways of looking at things and, you know, help them have their little light bulb and aha moments, because they are important. Hey, Makame. Hello. Makame is a Forex trader sharing its life impacting income. I love that. That's really cool. And there's a little bit about Katie, so I'll just keep doing that as you guys keep typing. So the other thing I want to quickly mention before I get into what I want to share with you today is that Tomorrow, I will be going live on my Facebook page. I've got a really big and freaking very exciting announcement to share with you about some changes I'm making to the Magnetic Money program. So especially if you're not yet in Magnetic Money and you've known that you want to be at some stage, then your time has come, baby. And I'm going to share exactly what the changes look like and what the opportunities are, and, you know, sort of the timeline on it as well, because depending on what's going on for you, you know, there will be an optimum time for you to join over the next few weeks. So I'll talk about all of that tomorrow. So the big announcement's coming tomorrow. Now, let's talk about how to set magnetic income goals. It was San Antonio, Bronya. How cool. Focus on mindset and health transformations. Love it. So how to set magnetic income goals. What we want to do when we set income goals is we want to make sure that you have, number one, clarity, number two, vibrational stability, and then that you can really work on expanding that energy so that you become magnetic. Now, let me know in the comments, have you set income goals before and how did it go? Because I don't know about you, but when I've set income goals in the past, especially early on, there was a whole lot of pumping myself up to get really excited, usually with the help of an expensive weekend workshop. And then, you know, there would be a whole lot of work I had to do and accountability. And, you know, I've been in MLM, so it was like, you know, contact so many people a day and report back to your upline and all of that stuff. Or just, you know, keep accountable to somebody, but do the actions, you know, even if it's just write the goal 100 times a day. Like, it always felt like hard work, as in you have to keep on it, you have to keep on it. And then I very rarely actually achieved those income goals, which really sucked. And it made me feel really deflated. And then I didn't try again. So I'd love to hear from you, because I know I'm a little bit weird and unusual sometimes, probably not as much as I like to think I am. But I know I'm not alone in that. I really know I'm not alone in that, because, you know, I've seen so many people who they try to set the income goals, or they set the income goals, they don't achieve them. And, you know, they might try again, and eventually they kind of give up, feel defeated, and they're too scared to do it again. So we're going to talk about that a little bit and how to get around it, because what usually also happens in the meantime is, you know, here they are with this big goal that they're hustling towards, but meanwhile, on an everyday basis, you know, you might be finding that you're kind of not really sure what to do with your money, and you're juggling money everywhere, and there's all this, you know, lack of certainty around it, and maybe you feel like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, or just kind of guessing what's going on. So what I want to kind of really bring home to you today is that there's kind of two, I like to break it down into two levels. Number one, in terms of targets, and I'm going to actually do a demo with you because I've made a new thing and I'll let you know how to access it. But first of all, you need to know what your base income target is, you know, so that you can actually set your business up to deliver it and know that what it takes to have all your bills paid. And once you get to that point, once you know that, and that's kind of step one, know what your base income target is, so that you can set your business up to deliver it, and so that you can kind of do that whole, you know, giving every dollar a job to do thing that I talk about. That creates clarity. And what that does is kind of settles and calms your base vibration. And so in that process, you're clearing a lot of the vibrational wobbles that might have been going on around money before, when you weren't quite sure, you know, what to actually do on an everyday basis, paying your bills, forgetting, you know, let alone when you hit the big income target. You know, people tend to go from, okay, I'm kind of not really sure what to do here, and it doesn't feel like it's enough. And usually it's just because they're not organized enough with it. Like, most of the time, it's because they're just not organized enough with their money. And then they think that hitting the big income target is going to fix it all. So what I'm saying is, let's take step one as actually knowing how much money you do need to bring in, and then making sure that you know that your business can deliver it, and making sure that you know that as that money comes in, you will be able to place it where it needs to go, that you are organized with it. That clears a lot of the wobbles and the day-to-day kind of perturbation and the stress around money, which repels money, right? So that's not going to help you achieve the higher income target. And then from there, you can go on and set that stretch income goal and look at expanding your vibration. And you can do it more from a place of fun, you know, and again, you need to know what the purpose is for that money and what the plan is for that money. So what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to share my screen and just sort of show you how that looks. Let me just have a quick squiz at comments. How can you set income goals when with our project, Cosmic Calibri, we offer so many services and we move around a lot? Okay, so first of all, you got to know how much money do I really need to earn? So let me, hopefully this works. I haven't actually, oh crap, I closed the window. Give me a sec. Let me open this again. So this is a brand new income target calculator that I've just created. And I'll let you guys know where to get it. You can get it for free. And I'll pop that in the chat box for you actually. And I'll put it in the description later. But let me share the screen and just show you how to actually kind of do it. So this is step one, right? Step one, we want to get that base income target so that we can steady and smooth our base vibration. So hopefully you can all see that. Hang on, I've got a touch screen, so I'm just going to stick my fingers all over it. So it's pretty simple, but you need to know your numbers. So in this income calculator, you actually only need to know 3 numbers. You need to know how much do you need to run your business on an everyday basis. And, you know, in this example, actually, I'm just going to take the numbers out for a second. In this example, let's say, okay, I know that to run my business together with, you know, the coaching I want to do or whatever it is, I need at least $1,000 a week. I'll just use round numbers. And then the second number you need to know is my business, which is a profitable business because that's what I'm designing it to be, is going to need to pay some tax. Now, depending where you are in the world, that's going to vary. But let's say, you know, you're like me in Australia where it's not the highest tax rate in the world, but it's not like Ireland where you pay 10%. But I literally put 30% of every bit of money that comes in aside for tax because we also have to collect sales tax. So you need to roughly know what that number is. And you might have to look at last year's numbers or talk to your accountant or just make an educated guess. But you need to put tax money aside and just stop for a moment and think about what that means vibrationally and what that means from an expectation point of view for you. Because when you say, I'm putting tax money aside, number one, you're showing up as the CEO of your business. Number two, you're saying, I am profitable and I do plan to pay tax. And because that's what happens when you run a beautiful, profitable business. And so you're actually sending a really powerful message out to the universe. And that money, you know, until it comes time to actually pay the tax bill, it's still there in your account. And I recommend you put it in a separate account, but it's still there. It's still your money. So if you really, really need to access it, you can. But I highly recommend you get in the habit of putting tax money aside as soon as possible because it's a huge mindset switch that makes all the difference to you actually attracting that level of income. All right, that's my little bit of a smackdown soapbox moment. And then last but by no means least, baby, your business needs to pay you. That's why it exists. I mean, it exists to make an impact, to change people's lives and all of those things. But if it's a business and not a hobby and not a charity, if it's what you do, then it has to pay you. So say in this example, you want to be paid, I'm just going to use some random numbers, $2,000 a week. So what this calculator tells you is you better make sure that your business can generate, in this example, just under $4,300 a week. And, you know, they're just numbers. You can plug in any number. But it's important that your business pays you, your business pays its bills, and your business can pay its tax bill. They're the fundamentals. So once you've got that, then you're at level 1. And I'm just going to stop sharing the screen now so that I can see you and you can see me again. Let me go back to, here we are, we're back. Okay, so that's level 1, right? And you can grab that calculator along with some instructions on how to use it at miriamcastilla.com/calculator. There's actually a second calculator in there that also helps you then distribute money when it comes in and manage fluctuating cash flow. So that's level one. And what that does is it makes you look at your business and go, right, well, to pay the bills, to pay myself, to pay the tax, this is what I need. So then you have to get practical and go, am I actually set up to generate that income? If not, what do I need to do to generate that income? Now, within that, there is, my business pays me. And so at level one, we'll call it level one, I want you to just put in what you need to kind of cover your debts, maybe put that minimal amount of saving and start paying off debts a little bit, starting to get ahead. That's where I would put it. A level where you go, you know what? I'm not like rolling in cash, but I feel like I'm moving forward and I'm feeling okay about this. So that's what I recommend you base those numbers on, because that allows you to then have, number one, that first level income target where you go, you know what, I'm going to make sure my business can actually do this and make strategic decisions to suit. And I know what I'm aiming for and I know where the money needs to go. So that's level one. And then once you're at that point, you've got clarity. You can get rid of some of that worry and stress, wobbly vibration. And then you get to play from there with those stretch goals and amp up your vibration and really have some fun and go, well, but imagine if instead of having $4,000 weeks, I could have $10,000 weeks. How much fun would that be? How cool would that be? And, what exactly would I do with that extra money? And again, you need to have a plan. So then you go back to, well, that extra money, is it going to go all to me or is it going to go to some of it to my business? Maybe I really want to rebuild my website, for example, and I need so much money. So maybe that's what my income goal is about. My stretch income goal, my level 2 goal is about. Or maybe it's, no, I actually really want to get rid of that car loan debt. Or maybe I want to, invest in shares and I want to accumulate so much money over the next 6 months and then be able to invest $10,000 in shares or whatever it is. You need to know what that money is for as well. But that's your level 2 goal, right? So you've got the level 1, which is base, and then you've got the stretch goal that you get to have fun with. And so that way you get to really experiment and play with stretch goals that feel good, where you can open up to possibilities, let the universe have some fun with, it could be this, it could be that. And it's no longer a case of I'm setting these lofty goals of like these big numbers that at first are exciting and after a while are a bit scary. But in the meantime, I'm kind of going, like I pay this bill here and that there, and oops, I forgot about that. And will I have enough grocery money till the next, payment comes in? Like you've done away with all of that. You've got the organization going at the base level. And that frees you up vibrationally, mentally, and in every way, shape, and form to go to that next level and set those stretch goals. So that is how I want you to approach it. Now, if you've got questions, let me know. I'm going to do a quick scroll back. Katie, yes, Katie, I salute you. She opened a new account for tax money just last month. Just the act of opening that account, Katie, is huge, because you are saying, I expect to pay tax. I expect to be profitable. And you know what? Not only do I expect to get a tax bill, but I expect to have the money available to pay it when it comes. And that's a really, really good feeling. And, depending on where you are in the world, it's different. But one thing in Australia where I see lots of business people get unstuck is they first start their business and they don't really have to pay tax because they're not profitable yet. And if they don't get in the habit of putting tax money aside, they actually can get hit with a double whammy, because what happens is they get their first tax bill. Here you go. Congratulations. You've been so profitable. Please pay some of that, and by the way, you're welcome for the roads and the hospitals and all the stuff we do with your wonderful tax money. And then what happens at the same time here in Australia is the government says, okay, well, we can see now that you are profitable and you will be having to pay tax ongoing. So can you please start paying towards next year's tax bill now, in advance, so that we don't have to hit you with a big bill at the end of the year. So what actually happens is you get a tax bill for the year that just was, and you start having to pay tax for the year ahead. So if you've not got yourself sorted, it can be a real shock to the system. And that's something you definitely want to avoid. So start putting that money aside. It feels really bloody good. Andrea's here. Hello, Andrea empowers women entrepreneurs and practitioners who are reasonably successful and know about manifesting but doubt their decisions. Yes, she does. And she's excellent at it. And Andrea, that's your next step too. Cool. Opened a tax account. Glyn opened a tax account. I love it. Andrea, question, is this tax account a savings account, please? Well, basically, yes. So the way I generally recommend, general advice, not personal financial advice, disclaimer, generally speaking, the best thing to do is just in the name of your business. So if your business is just in your name, that's fine. If you're trading in a company or a trust, it's got to all match. Just open a second account, call it tax money, and just park the money in there until tax time. That's the simplest way to do it. Some people do funky stuff like they put it off into an offset account against their mortgage so that they reduce the interest being charged on their mortgage account. So there's more complicated things you can do. We talk about this sometimes in Magnetic Money. But, the most important thing is whatever name your business is in, keep the money in that name. If you take it out of that, then you better make sure you talk to your accountant and make sure you're not, kind of creating a future problem for yourself. But yes, just a separate savings account where you can access the money when you need it. So when you set those stretch goals, you get to have some fun. So you have base level and then stretch goal. And I don't really know. So I actually called it my income target and then my income goal. My income target is, it's that base level. And that base level does include paying off that number one debt I'm clearing right now or moving towards that next investment. It does include the fun money I want. It does include sort of the basic things I want in my business, like being able to regularly work with a coach or, get techie stuff upgraded. Like all of that's built into the target, what I call the level one or the target income. And then there's the income goals, which you can play with and have fun with. And because you've smoothed out and set that stable vibration up and got clarity at that target base one level, you can have so much more fun. So I'm going to share with you in a sec my little tip for you on how to really have fun in a way that takes you away from the, but how's it going to happen? And I've already talked about that an important thing is to actually have a plan for that money. So even if you're just daydreaming and maybe at the moment it's, can't wait for my first $10,000 month, what will I do with that money? Have a plan. It's not just, I want the money because that's exciting. It's like, what am I going to do with that money? When you give your money a job to do and when you have a plan for it, it kind of gives like a really nice landing pad for that energy. It's a really powerful thing. We're actually going to talk about that a little bit more next Magnetic Monday call, which is next week. I'd love to have these once a week, but my calendar's a little bit, I had a few too many things in Mondays, but I will have these whenever I possibly can. So we are going to do a Magnetic Monday call next week, and I've got a special guest joining me. I've got Alexis Jane joining me. She's a Magnetic Money student, and I've asked her to come on and talk about, she's an amazing manifester, but she found she was like feast and famine roller coastering. And she joined Magnetic Money and something switched. And basically what happened as a result is that in just over the first month of this year, I think it was the first 5 and a bit weeks, she did $75,000 in sales, which is actually more money than she made all of last year. So, and it started being consistent. It wasn't just like, here's one big client and then nothing for 3 months. It was consistent for, that whole period, and she's still going. But in the first 5-6 weeks of this year, she'd made more money than all of last year. And that little switch, that's what we're going to talk about next week. So make sure you do keep an eye out for that, because I'm really excited to talk to her about it, because manifesting she could already do, but only in this kind of pattern. So we're going to talk about what flipped the switch. What else do I want to say? questions, type them in the chat box, because before I go, I will answer them and I will come back later. So if you're watching the replay, give us a hashtag replay, ask your questions and still share your aha moments. Join us in the Manifesting Circle Facebook group if you haven't yet. It's just at miriamcastilla.com/group. If you're watching along on YouTube, hit subscribe so that you find out when I next go live and when I next drop a video. And yeah, that calculator that I demonstrated for you, you can get that for free at miriamcastilla.com/calculator. So do make sure you grab that. I think it came up. I got a funny error on my end when I put it in the comments before. So I'm just going to pop it there again. I will double check afterwards and put it in the description too. But you can get that totally free and play with it. And like I said, there's a bonus calculator with it that helps you actually manage fluctuating income and also dish it out when it comes in and make sure it's all going to the right places. So before I go, let me share that little tip with you, which is, like I said, it's a little tweak that makes all the difference. So this is my hot magnetic money tip of the day. When you visualize, and I hope you do you? Do you visualize? Because if you don't visualize, you better start. It's really, really powerful. So when you visualize, or even you just daydream about your stretch goal, here's a little tweak that makes the difference. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes when I first started visualizing, especially when I first started, I would find, because it's not, I know I seem a bit, I'm excited now because I'm talking to you, but when I'm just on my own visualizing, I can't really get myself into the big, oh my God, fist pumping moment. I just made 100 grand in that launch or whatever it is. So I find that it feels a little bit weird and fake and odd, and I can't quite work myself into a frenzy. I need Tony Robbins in my lounge room or something. But, and so a lot of people find that. And also the other thing with it is that when you go to exactly that fist pumping moment, it can be a little bit tricky to, like your brain can do little things like, yeah, but would I be doing this, or who would I be with? And like you're second guessing everything you're doing in the moment. So number one, absolutely visualize. But number two, here's the little tweak that makes an awesome difference, is go beyond the fist pumping moment of achievement. Take yourself beyond it and take yourself to a place where you remember when that cool thing happened. That cool thing that was just a goal, a target, something you played with in your brain and you went, wouldn't it be nice? And that'd be really cool. And what would I do with that money? And then it kind of happened, and it happened in this really amazing way. And yeah, you were pretty excited at the time, but you're remembering it, which means you can kind of do it from a place vibrationally and internally that feels a lot more natural, right? It doesn't feel like bullshitty fake pumping yourself up into something you're really not. It's just, yeah, remember when that happened? That was so cool. And then you can play with it some more and you can go, yeah, and isn't it funny how now that just feels totally natural and normal? Because I'll give you another little hot tip before I go. When it happens, whatever you think is your stretch income goal that's going to blow your mind and that you're going to be, running down the street in your underwear over, when it actually happens, you're not going to probably do hardly any of those things, because when it actually happens, you are going to be such a freaking perfect vibrational match to it that it just feels totally natural and normal. And you'll go, oh, yeah, of course. And you'll be busy dreaming of, thinking of the next level income goal. That's why everything you've got right now, you're like, oh yeah, of course, but I can't wait for the next thing. Even though I bet you 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe 10 years ago, what you've got now, some of the things you've got now, you would have killed for and you thought were a pipe dream or, were a big stretch goal then. But now it just feels like life, normal, natural, because you're a perfect vibrational match to it. So this is a cool little hack. Go beyond the goal and remember achieving it, because that's actually the vibration that's going to effortlessly attract it. The vibration of, oh my God, I can't believe this just happened. This was totally unexpected. That's not a matching vibration. But the vibration of, yeah, of course that happened. That's so cool. This is how I roll, baby. That's the vibrational match. So I hope you like that one, because it's a really, really, really powerful little tweak. Awesome. So 2 quick things. Oh, maybe 3. I don't know. A few. Number 1, miriamcastilla.com/calculator. Grab the calculator. There's even a little tutorial video with it. Number 2, catch me tomorrow on my Facebook page because I'm going to talk about the changes that are coming up for magnetic money and you're going to love them. And number 3, join us in the Manifesting Circle on Facebook. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hang around. Oh, number 4, next Monday. That's right. Alexis Jane is going to join me as a guest and we're going to talk about what clicked for her that made her make more money in a month and a bit at the start of this year than all of last year combined. I want to hear it. Do you? Yeah, I totally want to hear it. Awesome. I think I've answered all your questions as I've gone. How long have I talked for? Oh my God, I said it would be maximum 30 minutes. I think I'm on 29, so it's time to go. Embrace your unlimited potential, baby, because it's right there. Can you remember what it felt like when you embraced it and it felt perfectly natural? Yeah, that was cool. See ya.